Hello. So you have completed the self-inquiry, you have completed the guided meditation, and you've also watched a video a video of me sharing a little bit about my story and sort of the sequence of events that's happened in my life that have brought me to where I am now, and also kind of created the inspiration for this course, and the passion that I have to help you through this process. Through the self-inquiry and the meditation, you have gotten clarity around what it actually looks like for you to live authentically and to feel your authentic self. And through the meditation, you have set a clear intention of what you want to bring through over the next 7 days. But before we push forward passionately towards what we want to create for ourselves, there is something really important that I think that we need to acknowledge first. And that is that every time we create a new intention or set a goal for ourselves in our life, naturally it's going to create some level of resistance. If we're moving in a new direction, taking new actions, obviously there's going to be some break of the pattern of behavior that we are currently living in. That's what creates the resistance. So instead of fighting against it, what we're going to do is really bring it in and just accept the fact that there is going to be some resistance to what we are creating. Because the sooner that we bring that resistance into our awareness, the sooner we can move towards our goals without this unconscious push and pull. What we are doing is we are prioritizing this intention over the resistance. So you have a clear intention, and through the self-inquiry exercise, you also have become aware of maybe some of the fears that are holding you back from moving in that direction. You've become aware of what the resistance might be. We need to make a conscious decision about what is more important to us, our fears or our intention. I want to share a little bit about my story again, just to bring in some context. So when I was just beginning on my journey as a content creator, I had this intention to start to share the guidance that I was being given through intuition, through meditation, through the things that I was writing about, and also the guidance that I was receiving from the people, the teachers and mentors that I had that were supporting me and that still do. And this intention came from within me. It was a really, really clear, strong intention, heart-centered intention to start to really help other people on their journey. I wanted to have a positive impact in people's lives. But the problem was that I had this huge amount of fear that was holding me back from doing so. So on one side, I had this really deep energy and force, this passion that was pushing me to start to share content. But then on this other side, I had this resistance to do the exact same thing. So what it felt like was being stuck in the middle of these two powerful forces, and I just felt like I couldn't move. I felt kind of paralyzed. This fear, this resistance that I was experiencing was a fear, a really deep fear of judgment and criticism for the person that I was. I felt pressure to be someone, to be a certain kind of person, or to show up a certain kind of way. And I felt that if I showed up authentically, then I would not be accepted for the person that I was. And ultimately, after setting this intention and having to consciously work through these fears internally, what I realized was this was all rooted in my past experiences as a kid, as it is most of the time for us. Story for another day, but at the time I was lucky enough to find a mentor who was sharing on social media, on Instagram, really powerful, heartfelt messages through his content. And his message really aligned with me. It was all about like beliefs, energy, consciousness, all of these things. And he was expressing these messages so confidently. And I could just see that he was so centered in who he was. And so I reached out to this person out of the blue, and I just asked him if he would be open to spending a couple of sessions, like doing a couple of sessions with me, 60 to 90 minutes a session, and just help me to overcome this blockage that I was experiencing. I asked him to be my mentor. Once we really got down to it, he asked me one simple question, and it's the question that I am going to ask you today. Once I understood the positive intention of what I wanted to create and the negative fear and the resistance that it created, once I understood these two polarities, he asked me, what is more important to you? What is more important? Fulfilling the intention of helping people through your message and through your work, helping people in the world, or not feeling embarrassed, not feeling judged, not feeling accepted? I felt kind of exposed at the time. I was like, holy shit, yeah, I'm being selfish. I'm actually allowing my own ego to get in the way of the work that I feel called to do in the world, the intention of helping other people. I was putting my own desire to feel worthy and accepted over the ability to help other people in a really genuine and impactful way. And I think that once I came into an awareness of this realization, that's where things really shifted. That's where things really changed. So what I did was I decided if I could just reach one person in every 100 people, one person in every 100 people, if I could inspire just one of them, then it would be worthwhile. That would be worth it to me. I accepted that if 99 people thought that I was crazy and weird, but I could still change one person's life, then that was okay with me. I was completely fine with that. And that is the decision that I made. That is the intention that I set. And that has really, everything changed. As soon as I wrote that intention, everything changed. I started to put content out. I started to reach people. I started to build connections. I started to get clients. I started to make some more money and started to experience the freedom that I wanted to experience. It all started with that intention. So now I'm asking you, what is that resistance for you? What aspect of your ego feels threatened when you feel into achieving your intention? What part of you feels afraid? Where does your mind go? What is the worst possible outcome, the scenario that's playing over and over in your head? What does it look like? Identify the resistance and then decide what is more important to you. Avoiding the resistance, not taking the risk, or achieving the thing that you set out to achieve. You need to ask yourself, what are you willing to sacrifice in order to fulfill your intention? If you need to take a moment now to feel into your intention and to really connect with what that resistance looks and feels like in your body and what it looks like in your mind, if you need to take a minute to connect to maybe what that worst case scenario looks like, that scene that's playing out in your head, take a couple of minutes now. You can pause this video and just really feel into it and really bring it into your awareness. And once you have a clear idea of what this resistance is for you, what it looks like, and all of the emotions that are tied up in it, your action items for this lesson is to complete your statement of intention. On the PDF that I am about to create for you, I will leave it below on this lesson. You're going to write a statement declaring your intention to your journey. And this is going to look different for everyone, but in your own words, you are going to write what your intention is. And to give you an example, I'm going to read to you what my intention was, what the statement of intention that I wrote when I was starting to try to put content out and I was feeling this resistance and this fear. I'll grab it for you now. So I have my statement of intention. I'm going to read it to you. I commit to prioritizing creating impact in other people's lives over my own fear of judgment. Pretty simple, but very powerful. It's cool looking back on this and to see how much that I've leaned into that discomfort and how much that I've started to share. And now I'm running a business, I'm creating content that I find meaningful, and I get to work with inspired people just like you. And it all started with this intention. So however it looks like for you, I encourage you to dig deep, to be honest with yourself and to really consider what's important to you. The second and final action item for this lesson is to share your statement of intention with the rest of the group. This will not only encourage you to take the steps that you need to take, but it's also going to go a long way in inspiring other people to take the steps that they need to take on their journeys as well. I will see you in the next lesson. Peace.